I shot my mom's husband. I admitted to it. I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I wanted to blame it on my mom's husband. His abuse towards my mom and me. But I looked at the whole dynamics of everything. It wasn't that. It was my impulsivity. I have anger issues, so I let my anger get the best of me with that situation.
First and foremost, what's your name and where you from, brother?
My name Damion Allen. I'm from South Central Los Angeles.
Okay, and how long you been down?
I've been down 5 years.
If you don't mind me asking, what are you down for?
I was originally down for assault with a deadly weapon. I shot my mom's husband. I admitted to it. And then while I was incarcerated, I picked up an ad charge for a murder. And now I'm facing 30 years.
Facing 30 years?
Yeah.
So your court is still going through the case?
No, I got it. That's
okay.
what I'm currently doing 30 years right now.
Got you, okay. Man, how did you feel when that sentence was laid down?
I mean, at first I felt betrayed, because one of my peers, he told, and I admitted to it. I did it. I did the time. I went, took the deal, and it was what it was. I didn't complain about it. I'm doing it. It is what it is. I don't complain about it. It's life. I'm choosing to make wiser decisions because my decisions weren't smart, so I'm just going with the motions,
Right, absolutely. So when you say you admitted to it, you're talking about the first charge or?
Both of them.
Both of them. So you admitted to both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so the betrayal that you felt was from a friend of yours?
A friend of mine doing what he did. You didn't have to say nothing, and you know?
Absolutely. So, question for you. What are some of the circumstances that might have led up to those actions that led you here?
Originally, I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I wanted to blame it on my mom's husband. His abuse towards my mom and me. But I looked at the whole dynamics of everything. It wasn't that. It was my impulsivity. I have anger issues, so I let my anger get the best of me with that situation. And I'm working on it. Since a kid, I've had impulse issues, and that stems from me not having a father figure. My dad hasn't been in my life. I know my dad, but he's not in my life.
Right.
So that kind of like goes with my anger, that fuels my anger. And I was very impulsive. I was doing things off impulse. I wasn't thinking things through. I was just go.
Right.
So being in here has helped me learn how not to be angry, how to think before I act.
Now, question, because I hear a lot of guys will say that, being in prison has taught them discipline,
Right.
has taught them how to think before they act, like you say. Does that have anything to do with the conditions in here and the consequences that will come as a result of your actions? Or what is it that?
Not really, because it's just me bettering me wanting better for myself. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not scared of these deputies. I'm not scared of doing more time. I'm here and it is what it is, Like I said, I have 30 years, so I'm not worried about going to the hole or getting a write-up. What is 90 more days? I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about bettering myself. I do it for myself. Nobody else but me and my family.
Absolutely, understandable. Now what was a moment where you said, hey man, I gotta change my action? Was it instant once you came to prison, or was there a specific moment or realization that happened while you were inside here?
All right, so like I told you, I was already facing time. I had 17 years for the assault with a deadly weapon on my mom's husband. I had went back down to the county to fight the murder. And while I'm down there, my grandmother passed away. And I'm not a very religious person. I believe in a higher power. So I told the higher power, I'm like, man, I just need one thing. You let my grandma live for me to get out of here and I'm gonna change my ways. He took away from me, and I had to come to a realization that that's a part of my lesson, you know? So I'm not gonna lie, I started using drugs. I was down bad, you know, like I was hurt, you know, I didn't care. I came to a point where I was just like, fuck everything, you know, like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But I knew that I even contemplated suicide, bro. And I knew that with that, I would be hurting everybody around me. And I knew I had to change, you know, I couldn't just, I mean something to a lot of people. I really mean something to a lot of people. And I knew that if I kept going down that path, it was gonna be bad. And I would hurt everybody around me. So I had to change, you know?
That's real, man. You know, one of the things that I hear here is accountability.
Right.
And I think one of the common misconceptions, you know, from people on the outside in regards to people who are on the inside is that they don't take accountability or they think that they're innocent. I mean,
Right.
You're telling me a story where in 2 different situations, you admitted to the actions.
Right.
And you're taking your time.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you have to do to better yourself.
Right.
So how important is accountability to you? Is that
It's
something
very important.
something you always had?
No, I didn't. I used to. I'm the only boy. I'm 24 years old. I'm the only boy. My mom has 3 daughters. I'm the only boy, 4 kids. And I used to do little things to defer things away from me. And I learned that wasn't getting me nowhere. You know, I'm not gonna ever excel not holding myself accountable. So if I would have went in the courtroom and been like, nah, I didn't do that, I would have been wrong, you know? And I would have been blocking my blessings. But me admitting to it, I did it. It is what it is, you know? I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is, you know? Now I'm working on change. I'm working on being a better person. So I hold myself accountable. I did it, you know?
Have you forgiven yourself?
I'm still in the process because I still see the hurt that I caused my mom. I see the hurt that I caused my sisters. I got a little sister that's going through a crisis right now, and it's hurting me. Like, even just bringing it up, just like, you know? But I put my family through a situation, and it's you know, it's fucked up. But I'm working on being a better person for myself and them, you know?
That's all you could do, man. That's
Right.
all you can do, one day at a time, for real.
One day at a time.
And, you know, it's very possible. Like you said, you mean a lot to a lot of people.
Right.
You know, regardless of what your actions were in the past. And
Right.
you have an opportunity to leave behind a legacy that's different than the one that you left behind previously. So,
Right.
in full support here, bro.
Right.
In full support here. Now, you know, a slightly different question, but related as well. You spoke a little bit about your childhood and certain traumas that you endured, you know, from not having, you know, your dad around. But what is one of your fondest childhood memories? If you could think back, what's one of your happiest, fondest childhood memories?
One of my happiest childhood memories, my 5th grade graduation. Elementary, I graduated, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't always been on a straight path. I get in trouble. Like, you know, I'm a boy, you know, I get in trouble, but they were gonna hold me back in the 5th grade because I had behavioral issues.
Right.
But I excelled and I went on to middle school, you know, and my mom was proud, you know, the whole day she just kept telling me she was proud of me. I graduated high school. I'm probably one of the only people in my family to do that, you know. Although I did it while I was incarcerated, I did it. You know, I put in the work so I could graduate, you know.
Right.
I made my family proud. Everybody, my friends, everybody came out to see me. And, you know, it was a good experience, you know. I ain't gonna lie. He was there, my boy, you know. My people came out to see me, you know. They showed up for
Absolutely.
my success, you know. So graduating high school was probably the one, elementary and high school was probably the one of my fondest memories.
Okay. Now after feeling that feeling that you felt recently when you graduated high school, that make you want to continue on that path and continue to create those moments in your life where people can celebrate you for your success as opposed to...
For sure. And I always try to, like, you know, do little things, like even if it goes unnoticed, like My sister started a nonprofit organization called My Brothers, Sons, and Daughters, you know, and they just go around. Sometimes she'll go to Skid Row and go feed the homeless, you know.
Right.
Different things, you know. We try to give back as much as possible. That's what makes me happy, giving back to my people. You know, I am a gang member. I'm an active gang member, but I want people to know that that's not killing and all that. That's not what this is about. It's you being a man is about giving back, and I want to give back. That's all I care about is giving back to my people. I don't care if I'm without. I'm gonna give back.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate your story, man, for real. And I know you got one of your partners here, who wanted to come in and speak to your character.
You want to come? You want to come say a couple words?
Come on in and get close to him so we can pick you up. But what's your name, bro?
My real name?
Yeah, real name.
Damon.
Okay, where you from?
East Coast.
LA.
Okay. Now y'all grew up together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, what you wanted to say something about him?
Yes.
You gotta speak up just a little bit.
You got it. You got it.
You know what I mean?
Talking to the mic, brother.
Yeah. It's my twin right here, you know. So, boy, man, we've been down bad. Now we up.
Been knowing this dude since elementary.
Man. Real guy right here, I ain't gonna lie.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, man. So how is it? Does it help the time pass having, you know, somebody that has known you prior to this in here with you?
It does, because like I told you, I contemplated suicide, you know, and I didn't care. I got over 30 years. I probably don't get out till I'm 50, you know.
Right.
But having my boys here, it's like a reality check, you know.
Absolutely.
And it helped, you know. They brought me back, because I ain't gonna lie, my head was gone. But they brought me back. And I love them for it, you know.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Well, I appreciate y'all sharing, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all continue to hold y'all head and really put forth a different legacy, tell a different story than y'all did in the past, man. I got faith in y'all for real.
For sure.
Tap in with us between the lines, man.
I'm for sure gonna tap in with y'all.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Oh, bro, appreciate you. Yes, sir, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I really appreciate it, bro.
All day.